Ahoy, listeners! Welcome to the Yonko Podcast with me, Alex Juwan, and our crew, Burke and Brock. Chapter 1038 is a hype house of happenings. A lot of throwdowns this chapter. Izo versus CP0. Yamato versus Big Fire Boyo. Fukura Fuck You versus Rise. Holy shit, please end this goddamn fight already. The new King of Hell versus the actual King of Hell. Or Brook in a Hoodie. Fucking Jinbei versus Falling Boards. That's boring. And finally, Law and Kid versus Big Mom and Hottie Hera. Get ready, folks. Lots to cover. All this and so much more on today's episode of the Yonko Podcast. Let's jump right in. Let's set sail. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Chapter 1038. King and Law versus Big Mom. King and Law versus Big Mom. Welcome back, guys. That was a long break.
It was too long.
I know it was just 2 weeks, but damn, it felt long.
But it was a 2 weeks filled with tier lists.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say check out our tier list as it gets uploaded over the next couple of weeks.
Yes.
It was 4 hours of absolute.
Next time we do one, we're
argument.
Gonna be a time limit.
Points.
We're gonna do
Wonder.
our best. We're gonna do our best.
But yeah,
all I gotta say is one of our former members was trying to tempt us with the golden fruits of spoilers. It was very hard not to check it out after that last chapter for some of us.
It wasn't hard for me. I hate spoilers.
Yeah, good on you.
I ate the golden apple. It was great.
You did?
Oh, 100%.
Oh god.
You're horrible.
That past member of our crew is very persuasive and cold-blooded, and led this great transition to German 66 Cold-Blooded Voyage Volume 3. Niji and Yanji captured in Chocolate Town on Cacao Island.
Like moths to the flame.
This is a really interesting cover page, because I didn't expect it. Brock, go off, because I want to say a couple things, but I know you had a reaction.
Yeah, I had a reaction. I don't think I'll go off. I don't have much to go off on, but I will say it was actually kind of sad to see, because, you know, you spend the majority, or for some people the entire, Big Mom's arc,
Whole cake, yeah.
Whole cake arc, hating the brothers because they're absolute shitty people.
Yeah.
But then as you get closer to it, you still realize that shitty people tend to be created by shitty environments and shittier people.
Judge.
AKA Judge. And, they showed a little bit of, as small as it was, they showed a little bit of of a thank you to the Straw Hat crew and helping them get out. And they played a big part in it, too.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could say that these two, to this point, sacrificed themselves so they could escape. Which to me leads to the hope that maybe there's a little something human inside them. It's still barely a twinkling light in the darkness.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't do that just for the hell of it, in my opinion.
100%.
And and it's just weird. Like, obviously, I'm certain they're alive because they're inhuman. But it is unsettling to see these guys who are so full of life now just stuck like moths and like bugs in this little exhibit. Because we all saw how much crap that gave Luffy. He was getting ready to tear his arms off to get out of that thing.
Sure was.
And this one's right through their chest.
Oof.
And then also, personally, I despise most of Big Mom's family, most of them, because they're all just so haughty and assholey. And honestly, Oven is one of the ones I despise the most because he's such a loudmouth.
Yeah.
And I just see the back of his head there. I'm like, fuck off. I don't want to see you.
Yeah.
And so I often tell Alex and Burke that, and I might have said this on podcast too, is like a fantasy of mine that I would hope to come true is the Big Mom crew returns, but this time Luffy has his entire crew and they're fully upgraded and they absolutely wreck the Big Mom pirates.
Yeah.
Because that would just be so satisfying to watch.
If Katakuri didn't welcome them with open arms.
I mean, I think he'll still give him. I think he'll still give him a fight.
A rematch?
Absolutely.
Epilogue rematch. That'd be cool.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's my little thing. It's sad to see, but I imagine it'll turn out.
Here's what I got out of this panel. We got, and I don't know how the time warp works in Oda's world, but if this is all kind of going down while Wano's going down, there's a couple things that are important here. Obviously, we have Niji and Yanji in Cacao Island, seemingly, captured. And the last cover story, we had Ichiji and Reiju and Judge on the ships. Now, we didn't know if they had just finished off all the people and they were hanging out in the bay, or if they were on their way out. One of the things that I'm maybe thinking that could have happened, and I would hate if this was actually the case, but maybe Judge could have traded these two in for he and his first son and his firstborn daughter to kind of get out of there. I'm not saying that's what happened, but it's interesting how only these two were captured and not all of Germa. Second point, that is absolutely Pudding on the right. 100%. And explains why she herself wasn't on the Big Mom ship that went to Wano. Mm-hmm. At the same time, neither was Oven, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So what this is showing me is that there's a few key members who are not with the rest of the Big Mom pirates in Wano. So there is some force still on Whole Cake. I don't know what the end game here is, but in my opinion, Pudding's whole thing with erasing Sanji's memory and the love that she has for him and the love that he showed her when he saved his family could translate to her doing something memory-wise and getting those two fuckers back to their daddy. I'm not saying it'll happen right away, but it's interesting to me that she and Oven are being highlighted here, right in the middle of this courtyard.
Yeah.
I'm going to disagree with you on only one thing there. I am not absolutely certain that is Pudding, personally.
Oh, you don't think it's Pudding?
I'm not absolutely certain that that's Pudding.
Oh.
I could get a 50-50. It could go either way for me. It could just be a random person who looks similar to her. It could be Pudding. Oven's silhouette is so easy to tell that it's him.
Clearly that's Oven.
Don't get me wrong. This is like the only criticisms I normally have about Oda are just like some of his women look very similar, and I just feel like this might be a case of like that could be Pudding, but at the same time I'm not 100% sure, and that's my thing.
It's the pigtails for me. It's that frilly dress. It's the fact that she was the what are they called? The ones that lead the islands?
A minister?
Yeah, she was the minister of chocolate. It's Cacao Island. I don't know. Makes sense to me. But really interesting cover story. Really excited to see where this goes.
Well, and also on Alex's point, in among the Watchers, there's only two shadowed individuals. That's Oven and who we might think to be Pudding. Mm-hmm. The other ones are in the light. So to me, that kind of separates them from the rest of the group. So
I can see that.
I can see why you would not see it as Pudding.
No, and like I said, I just think it's 50-50. I'm
Yeah.
not going to be fully 100%, oh yeah, that's Pudding. I have reasonable doubt.
No, I think...
But I like your theory on, like...
Yeah, honestly...
There might be some...
I think this is probably the one of the few times to date that I could definitely get on with your theory. Because it doesn't seem really out of the blue.
No, because if anybody's going to save or help get Niji and Yanji out of there, it's going to be Pudding.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing. What is that asshole's name that has the book fruit?
Let me look it up in case.
Remember.
He's got a big old nose.
Honestly, I forgot he was a thing. Like, until I saw this, I'm like, oh yeah, they have someone who could do that.
Well, that's the thing. Is like, it's so...
It's like Cordova or something strange.
Mondior.
Mondor. Yeah, Mondor does.
What's he look like? I forgot it was that guy. It's
What's
the
he look
fucking...
like?
He looks like Big Mom and Foxy Fuck. You'd like him.
I'd like to see his face, please.
Don't mind the...
No, I'm serious.
Oh, okay, yeah, clown dude. All right.
Yeah. So
but you're correct. He absolutely does look like that, especially with the,
100%.
The pointy under the hat.
And all the fathers that these children have, it's possible.
Well, he's got the strongest.
Could have been a rough Davy back fight. He just wanted Big Mom's, poo-tang. Anyway,
he's got the strongest blood. He's got
I don't want him
mad. Are you angry?
Are you? Anyway.
Isn't it already bad enough our intro today?
This is what's interesting. That guy is with the Big Mom crew on the ship headed to Wano because he was shooting at Marco and being like, what's he doing up there? So he isn't here to re-equip them to the book. So if they do get away, I don't think they're getting put back in that book very easily.
No.
But that's just my headcanon. Oda will probably destroy that with a giant elephant. Anyway.
What if... hear me out, Alex. Hear me out. So you're under the impression that this is either happening right this second, like while we're dealing with Luffy fighting Kaido right now, or it's kind of happening in tandem with what's going on in Wano. Because what if, since he is on the ship, what if the minute he hits the water, when the ship gets knocked off the waterfall, all of a sudden Niji and Yonji pop out?
That would be interesting. Could be, but we have seen examples of Devil Fruit users being knocked out and their Devil Fruit still working. Tama being a prime example. She got knocked out by Kaido when she was running on speed way back when, right? And speed...
No, and it's just sometimes, like, obviously, I just rewatched Sugar getting knocked out. So, like, sometimes just getting knocked out or falling in water is enough to make you lose your grasp on your powers.
100%. Yeah. Could be. The fact that he's maintained this book from Wano is kind of wild, though, too.
The birdcage falls apart as soon as he gets beat, so it's just like...
Somehow, it's inconsistent.
No, it's inconsistent, and I don't mind that it's inconsistent. It's
anyway, great cover. Great cover page.
There
was more to discuss there than I thought there was.
It's definitely a mini saga that grabs your attention, even with all the shit that's happening in Wano, which... There's a lot of shit happening in Wano, so good job, Oda. As usual.
Indubitably. With that, the castle interior, 3rd floor. A fiery passion. The flames! Release your jutsu, Raizo, or we will both perish!
That's all from Raizo.
Yeah, that's literally it. Yeah. Well, he's way more on fire than Fukuro Koju is. Like, literally. He is actually on fire. Fuku's like traveling up his skirt.
Right now, it's looking like a little bit of what I said might come true. So we'll see.
We will see.
Give me 1 second. Well, keep going for a moment.
You trying to see how on fire he is?
I actually need to get the unofficial release up. I was on the main...
Yeah, no. Dude! I took all the pictures. 2nd floor. We must flee! It's a dead end! There's nowhere to go! Creak! The ceiling is coming down! Yeah! Huh? You're one of the Straw Hats!
I thought there might be a few stragglers. Get moving, quick! How is the fire spreading so fast? At this rate, countless are going to burn to death. Dying in battle will be less cruel.
Live floor. Get away from Big Mom! We can't get caught in the crossfire. Oh! Chopper Sensei!
Oh? What the devil? Ah!
Thank goodness you recovered.
I'm back to normal. These side effects made me withered and weak for a while. This is nothing, though. I'm more worried about Zoro, Miyagi.
That's right, the remedy he took.
That super recovery also has great cost, right? All the damage he suffered will come back many times worse. I hope he's won his fight already. Before, his injuries were so bad he couldn't move if those wounds got multiple times worse. Zoro, please don't die on us!
We go to the outside.
And where Zoro had side beat back to the stage after beating King. Who the hell are you? What's happening? My body, it won't move. Stop. Get away from me.
As we see a literal incarnation of death.
Or Brooke in a hoodie.
It's wild. We'll see.
Dome interior, right brain tower. We see Frankie's location in comparison to Zoro's location. Out of the way, Super! Ah! Zoro, you bastard! Where'd you go?
1st floor, attic. Oh, God damn it. Why did a former Whitebeard commander have to come here and help those damn upstarts? Basement level 1.
I underestimated their numbers advantage. They may have been small fry, but they were still members of the Beast Pirates. Kiku, Kinemon, I hope my actions allowed the two of you to escape.
Bang!
Cypher Pole?
Yes, we're from the Aegis Zero branch. I heard you were on the island, Izo. let's just pretend we never saw each other. We technically aren't meant to let you off the hook.
Ellipses.
For being a member of a notorious crew, but we've currently got our eyes set on the Straw Hats.
Ellipses.
I'm sure we'll meet again.
Stop. Not another step. CP0.
Oh, it's such a cool moment.
I've got to make it. I've got to.
Basement Armory.
There it is. Hey, stop that. Please hang on. Namuji Hyoga. If that gunpowder goes off, we'll all be history.
As Yamato freezes the bombs.
Don't touch it. Mahoroba. A hand?
Live floor. Have mercy, Big Mom! They can't even move! If you keep going, they're going to die! Please, spare them! Your underlings are begging now, Captain!
No, that's them crying.
Captain!
Boss!
You two have really hit rock bottom! Mama, 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 mama! Boss, get it together! Are you still breathing?
Medics! We have to save the captain!
Quit your belly aching! This is a battlefield, you pest! Yeah! Man, Temji!
Yeah!
Mama. Now then, I don't think that Kaido has let out his usual victory cry yet. Don't tell me that puny Straw Hat brat is still holding out alone. You'd better not be playing with your food, Kaido. Hera, take me to the roof.
Yes, Mama.
I'm beat. Let's finish this quickly.
Kroom. Anesthesia!
This is your end! Mama! He killed Big Mom!
Traffy, what's with that huge blade? Like the last attack, you barely feel the prick, but...
What are you doing? Knock it off!
Shock melee!
How dare you hurt Mama? Huh? What something is pulling us in?
I'm sick of these steel beams running their mouths. Just obey my magnetic fields already.
You can still stand, kid? Guess you kids are hell-bent on taking my head.
It's weird. I feel like I have a new reason to keep fighting. I bet you anything Kaido is reaching his limit up there. If you give it long enough, even mountains can be worn down by rain. They say you emperors are invincible? What a joke. There's no such thing! Punk Cornadillo!
It's a massive bullseye, even bigger than Big Mom in her giant form.
Listen up, you hag! I don't care if it kills me. You're not reaching that roof!
They're putting their lives on the line. Next issue, cover and color spread. End chapter 1038.
Yeah.
Holy shit, a lot going down.
There was so much going on in this fucking chapter.
That's how you know things are speeding up to the...
It's one of those transition chapters.
to the end game.
You know, the fact that it's called Kid and
Versus Law.
and
Kid and Law versus
Big Mom kind of leads me to think that, like the other chapters that were like battles, we might see the end.
Yeah, we'll see.
Big
Yeah,
Mom soon. It's kind of wild
I mean,
if we're following
what
we've been doing.
if I were to name a favorite part of this chapter for me, real quick, it's how no matter how aggressive towards Luffy they are, or how tsundere they are about fighting by his side, it always comes back to, I got faith that guy's going to finish this.
Yeah.
You're like, I have a new reason to fight now.
Here's my thing. So to add on to that, rewatching Punk Hazard and Dressrosa with Law being part of this alliance with Luffy, it's
Alliance, more like
it's basically just Luffy dragging Law around.
Luffy making him his friend.
Yeah, exactly. It's one of those things where like you look at what Law was doing in the beginning of this whole saga of choices that he's made. And his whole thing back in Dressrosa was he was planning on dying to to end Doflamingo, whether it was Luffy takes him down or Kaido takes him down because the factory gets destroyed. Law and we've discussed this in the past, because we're like, okay, who becomes Yonko after this? Like, who becomes official members of the Yonko
Who fills
after?
the 2 spots?
Who fills the 2 spots? And at this point, Luffy just takes Kaido's position, and I think Kid takes Big Mom's position if she actually falls here. Because I'm starting to think that while he will never be a full underling of the Straw Hats, I think that Law has a lot of faith.
He'll be an associate.
He will definitely be an associate or an ally through and through. He might have his own motivations going forward, but I just don't feel like those motivations are Pirate King.
Well, what's awesome about this is something I noticed in the Wano arc to date is we've gotten a lot more of Law now that he's fulfilled his revenge in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
He's a lot more focused on his own pride as a pirate.
Yeah.
Because you're like, you don't give me orders. I'm my own fucking dude. You know, and now he's really kind of like taking his own charge.
Yeah.
Rather than right there, he was like being pulled by the scruff of his neck by Straw Hat wherever he went because Luffy's chaotic as fuck. But now he's...
But he's always, like, it's so interesting to me, Law's faith, his absolute faith in Luffy.
Yeah.
Like, even when he, flipped Doflamingo off back all that time ago and was just like, the Straw Hats, everywhere they've gone, they perform miracles. Like, that is just powerful, in my opinion. And like I said, I don't think he'll ever be a full underling. I think he will always be a friend in some way, shape, or form. And
he's going to be there at the battle.
Oh, that's fucking...
Whitebeard to Luffy's Roger?
Kind of, yeah.
Pirate buddy that he fights every now and then?
Yeah, I just don't see them actually fighting.
The animosity isn't there.
The animosity's not there.
I have a question for you guys on the topic of other potential pirate kings. Obviously it's Luffy, but like...
Diggity do it.
Has Kid and Law been to Zoe and gotten that poneglyph?
I don't think so.
Technically, Law's been... Wait.
I don't know.
They would have had...
Law would have gone to Zoe. He just then, once they split up to go to Whole Cake, he went directly to Wano after Zoe.
I feel like...
Law wasn't at Zoe.
Wasn't he? Because we had to go and meet up with Beppo and all them.
No, he went straight to Wano.
Yeah.
They said, go get my crew from Zoe. Beppo's been to Zoe.
Of course, because he's from Zoe.
As for Kid, I have a feeling that he was probably captured before he could get to
exactly.
Zoe.
Kid's been captured for a while.
So I don't think
Because
either of
Kaido
them have
fell
actually been to Zoe.
from that Sky Island right after Dressrosa, right? If I recall.
I think so.
And so he lands on Kid and Hawkins and Apu's alliance.
Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, he went to Zoe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's
Yeah,
like,
I
I
don't know
swear
what
to God.
I don't think Kid's been to Zoe.
No.
Kid's not been to Zoe.
At the same time, I'm not sure Law's interested in being Pirate King.
He's not interested in being Pirate King. He is interested in the history and the Void Century, as far as I can
Rather
tell.
than buddies. Because in Kaido's castle, he was
He
randomly
found that
walking.
One,
He's
he
like,
found that one poneglyph.
that's not the one I want, but hey, there's one here.
Yeah.
Right? And that was during the raid, too. He was kind of just having a little walk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we'd already started the raid at that point, hadn't we?
He was just
Also,
exploring.
have we seen a move, just since we're on Law right now, have we seen a move labeled K-Room yet? Kroom?
Yes, that was his awakening when he first cut into Big
Yeah,
Mom.
he used...
Okay, I guess I didn't notice that one.
And I looked up the kanji for it. It's interesting. Come after me if I'm wrong about this. I'm fully willing to be wrong. But the kanji that I saw in the post that I saw kept saying kill room, and that's why it's called Kroom.
I could see that. It would make sense to me.
Yeah.
It's a room of death.
Well, and that absolutely makes sense because his rooms they never cause bleeding.
No.
They only cause it so you can
This one is for damage, for death, right?
So I could see that.
You
could still be wrong, but I could see that.
Right.
And I can understand why that would be a theory / the truth.
Yeah, I saw a lot of things because obviously Kroom is a weird translation to English, so there has to be something in the kanji, right?
Yeah.
And that's what
I feel like it's something similar to a lot of the spells they have for like the Dragon Quest series, where like a lot of the spells they have, they start with one word and then they're extended by like 2 letters with each one, and it's like
But no, and Kid's the only one who specifically also said he wants to be Pirate
Yeah,
King.
no, I know Kid wants to be.
That's the main reason I'm like, he'll definitely be a rival at some point.
Absolutely.
If the ending of this doesn't change his mind as well, I don't know.
Again, I don't know how they're reading, those poneglyphs without the help of Robin, right? Now, Straw Hat has 3 of them once we find Kaido's road poneglyph.
Yes.
They have the rubbing, they have Zo.
We got the rubbing from
Right.
Whole Cake.
Actually, if I were to make a comparison with...
to be fair...
Old generation.
Not old
if
generation.
Kid hasn't been to Lodestar, he might not even know that there are 4 red poneglyphs he needs to look for. Because that's all explained at Lodestar. Because that's what they said on Zo. Oh, you guys don't need to go to Lodestar now because it just kind of explains that this is what you now need to look for.
Yeah.
But you could go.
Yeah, but thinking about it, if I were to make a comparison between what it feels like the direction it's heading for in terms of the Luffy, Law, and Kid relationships, I think I'd compare it to like Dragon Ball Z, where
Dragon Ball Z.
Are you thinking Law's like,
Piccolo.
Luffy's Piccolo and Kid is Vegeta?
That's what I'm thinking because
Interesting.
Piccolo,
I could see that.
Piccolo started out as a villain, but then came to be a
huge
stoic friend.
ally.
Huge ally.
It's interesting because Law has the D, but Kid has the Conquerors, right? So it's kind of interesting that they're like rivals to Luffy.
But they don't have all the pieces
that Luffy
does.
Right.
Because he's a D and has the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Also,
They're
Law's
not
stronger than
MCs,
Kid.
okay.
So, yeah, interesting.
Anyway, we should probably follow along with the...
Well, we started at the end, so let's go back to the front,
Yeah.
the top. I don't care about this fight. You guys have anything to say about it?
I mean...
Do you just want to reiterate what you think's going to happen?
I mean, I will say that Raizo does look pretty cool in those flames. I'm not gonna bash that.
His efforts appreciated here, but I don't have much else to add to the fight.
The coolest standing around ever done.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm just confused how anyone gets released out of this.
I mean, that's just
they're both.
We've discussed this the last chapter that this was happening.
Actually, you're right. I don't want to talk about this. Let's move on.
Exactly. Okay.
Jinbei fights boards.
He's helping people.
No.
Escape.
I'm not. No. I'm not saying. I just like. Is there more to talk?
Change your phrasing.
Is there more to talk about? Like, I'm glad that he's doing heroic stuff, and because he's finished his fight, right?
Yeah.
I do think him being away from who's defeated spot leaves us open to, well, who's gonna go get who's who,
or is who's who about to be dead?
Right, actually dead. Like,
actually. But we already determined that one of the CP0 agents is still obviously back with the Marys.
Last we checked in, right?
Which, I mean, that was like 2 chapters ago.
It was 2 chapters ago.
And the other 2 were with Izo.
Now they're
currently,
with Izo.
Yes.
Yeah.
But no, good on Jinbei, holding up.
Do you think Izo's stronger than Drake and whichever number that was that got beat to shit?
Izo, what? I'm gonna look this up. Izo was the 5th?
He's pretty high up there.
He wasn't
5th? Like high, but he was also not like low.
Commander?
He was low digits.
Yeah.
Commander of the Whitebeard Pirates.
He's either 4th or 5th, I think. I think he's might be right after the sword.
Oh,
16th.
Oh, okay, never
mind.
We
were absolutely way off on that.
Never mind, he's in double digits.
Here's the thing with Izo. Okay, I love Izo. He's cool as shit. He has the connection to Wano. He came back. He fires with guns even though he's a samurai. Dope character. He is hurting. He might be out of bullets, or he has a Legolas thing going on. I don't know. He might never run out.
Who knows?
The thing that I absolutely love about this panel, right, and we do skip a bit to get to the Izo, but I don't care. It's fine. We'll come back to other stuff. The thing that I absolutely love about this panel is he has a chance here to just be fine, as he generally is, escape, right? And is literally given an opportunity by CP0. We're not here to deal with you. Let's just forget we saw each other. We're going to deal with the Straw Hats. And as soon as they say that, not another step, CP0. And here's the thing that makes Oda a fucking genius when he draws. Look at Izo's eyes in that panel. It's not black, it's not white, it's gray. He has a terrified and defeated look, but that's not going to stop him from trying to stop CP0. I don't think he'll measure up at all. I'm scared for him, honestly.
No, I mean, I agree. I think he doesn't stand a chance against him. And now that we've confirmed where his standing is, Now, let's be clear about something. Obviously, standard for a Whitebeard commander is super fucking high. They're all very strong in their own right. But I think 16 commander is a bit too low to compare him to one of the worst generation.
He's not in the best shape.
No.
He has been fighting for
Constantly.
a long, almost as much as Kaido at this point, right? And surviving. He just saved Usopp, let them get away.
Yeah.
Like, he's been, like, if this is Izo's end, and, I still have my scabbards, all might die by the end of this, fulfilling the graveyard theory, it wanes, but this is another one of those moments where I'm like, God, he showed the Kozuki clan, he saved some of our Straw Hats, he might save more right here, and if he goes down here, I know you hate deaths, Brock, but that's better than, as Jinbei just said,
listen,
dying in battle. It's better than being crushed or killed by something stupid.
Here's the thing. I would accept this death over the ones that so far have been attributed to a lot of the 9, because a lot of their deaths... Okay, let me go back a bit.
Sure.
About the deaths. So, I can appreciate a good death.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like when it's overused.
Sure.
Like, I think Ace's death was perfectly well used.
Aces and Whitebeards.
And Whitebeards, because they were used as a growth instrument for Luffy, and for an instrument for Luffy to emotionally
Not only for
grow.
Luffy, but the world.
For the world.
It changed the entire world.
100%.
It gave a lot more credence to the 2-year time skip, because the world was a different place after those 2
It
years.
also cemented my hatred for Blackbeard.
Absolutely. Sorry to interrupt you really quick, Brock, and I appreciate that it gave, like, that credence you just said, it gave the 2-year time skip. I also just love that it, because of that, then when we come back from the 2-year time skip, we're just as clueless about what has happened in that time.
Yeah.
And it's a nice way to put us in the Straw Hat shoes when we're learning all this stuff. Like, obviously, we find out when we go to Fishman Island, oh shit, Akainu is now the fucking
Fleet Admiral.
And
he had a big old fight with Aokiji, yeah.
And Aokiji lost, which is like, fuck.
Yeah.
Anyway, not the relevant point, but so back to what you were saying.
So anyway, yeah, I like deaths like that, where it's like, it's a one-of-a-kind death that really changes the story. And I'm talking about major characters. Obviously, background characters die all the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Even in One Piece. But, see, my problem with, so far, the Scabbards deaths...
especially like Ashura Doji.
Really
I could say if he's dead, I would be kind of upset by that.
The reason I would be upset with their deaths, so far to date, is their entire lives they've been essentially protecting the Kozuki line. Mm-hmm. And to me, this is their night to finally fight. Yep. And so far, a lot of them haven't actually gotten much of a chance to fight. They struggled against Kaido a couple times, and then were basically wiped out. To me, that's not a fitting end for these 7 time jumping. Sorry, not 7 and 9. Right?
Only a few of them time jumped. The rest just
9 time jumping / suffering through 20 years of oppression.
Yeah.
Samurai. This is the night they were waiting for, and for it to just end like that doesn't sit well with me.
Well, that's why Kaido didn't take him out, right?
Well, I mean, I think he
dead. I mean.
Yeah,
they were able to recover.
I think
they all lived.
I think he meant to take Akinemon, but
well, sure.
Luckily,
later, and again in that moment, I thought it was a fine death, and obviously Oda, wrote differently, but I thought it was a fine death, protecting Momo in that moment.
See, my problem with that is that's what he's been doing so far.
It was kind of beautiful in my opinion, but obviously Oda was like, no, there's more that he can do, or he is going to be there at the end, right, with him.
So here's the thing: like, if the death is truly worthwhile,
sure.
If it protects something, if it protects a much bigger something, like say in the essence of Pedro, it's not Pedro, is it?
What?
Is it Pedro?
Yeah.
The one who blew himself up?
I usually call him for somebody a different name.
Pedro,
Pablo.
yes.
I usually call him Pablo. That's why I usually
Pedro.
His death was great because it solidified that he already had a shortened life. He'd given his life for something he believed to be greater.
Sure.
And the situation the Straw Hats were in required it. Yeah. Like, if he hadn't done that, they probably wouldn't have escaped. Mm-hmm. Because their ship was formally locked, reinforcements were coming from all around that they just couldn't handle with their current forces. And so I feel like his death was actually necessary for that situation. But in the case of the scabbards, to date right now, if they were to die like this, the Asura Doji I can kind of forgive because it was death at the hands of a traitor, which, that's a special kind of death. Which, yes. But to date, I don't think they deserve the death that they've been given. Just because, like, for instance, of Kinemon, I'm really happy that he didn't die or he did because we went with him. We've been with him for too long for him to die as a shadow like that. If he's going to die, it's going to be on the battlefield. Not in the actual battlefield, not in a hall where no one can see him.
He should have a bigger...
He should die worthy of him.
Sure. I think they all deserve that.
Yes.
But I also see, in moments like this, if we're going to hype up Aegis, and they've just
No, real quick. I'm not talking about this death.
Oh, no, I was going to a new point.
I'm getting to Izo.
Yeah.
If he dies like this, which I'm on the fence of whether he does die or not.
Sure.
This is even a matter of me desiring life.
I don't want anyone to really,
If he dies like this, awesome. Well, not awesome, but I'd be okay with it as long as the death was fitting to the person.
Sure. As
long as it showed him struggle, like they don't off-screen him. It's not a pathetic little step on his corpse, walk past him type thing.
Right.
He needs a death worthy of a Whitebeard commander who's fighting for the future generation.
Sure.
Future Pirate King.
100%.
And so I can definitely see him dying here. But obviously, with Oda, you never know.
Here's the thing I will say about Izo's death. Because I, honestly, with my headcanon, I don't think he's actually going to die here. I do think he's going to be decimated.
Absolutely.
Because I think Aegis is just that tier.
Yeah.
And when we first met CP0, and we really knew who CP0 was, there was no one in their way. They got on that train, they did exactly what they needed to, and they headed to Inia's lobby. And then we beat them. If this is if we're paralleling that at all, Aegis isn't going to be stopped by anybody or anything, and they may or may not get what they want, considering the mission is Robin. I don't know. That might change because everything's going to shit, and it's like, I'd rather have you guys with the rest of Aegis than trying and dying to get Robin, right? So I don't know what their ultimate end is going to be, but Izo's done a lot of shit up to this point.
Yeah, he's been acting as the ultimate support right now.
And, I fear for him because this is not the fight he should have taken. I mean, he's going to. Clearly, he has the resolution.
For the betterment of, a lot of people involved, it's the right fight.
Plot, it's the right fight. If you're a selfish character at all, you would never take this.
You wouldn't take this if you were...
It's 1v2 in the first place.
A Whitebeard commander wouldn't just let them pass by them.
No, because one of the last things that Whitebeard, ordered was protect that boy. And when it comes to the Straw Hats... But no, personally, headcanon-wise, I think Marco's going to step in right before any kind of ending, and then it's going to be sort of like he protects Izo, CP realizes they can't take on two, and then they're going to peace off and try to do their own thing. That's ultimately what I think is going to happen there. But it's really courageous.
But also, it's an awesome moment for Izo.
Yeah.
And I'm glad we're seeing so much from him now that he's arrived. And also...
the God Usopp thing was just last chapter. Like, he's like,
so good.
And it's like, Izo.
That acknowledgement.
Yeah.
You've heard of me?
Yeah.
And we're like, you've heard of him.
It's really pretty.
No, and I... shit. I'm really excited. I normally don't get excited about power scaling, but I'm really excited to see just where CP0 stands. Because because the Cypher polls have always been in the gray zone. Because they're not with the Navy. They're special agents for the world government.
Right.
And so it just makes you think just how close to the top are they?
Yeah.
How close, how far below admirals is their actual level? Right. Because if they're appearing at this point in time, that leads me to believe that even someone who can beat a Yonko like Luffy might still have trouble with them. So I can't wait to see what CP Aegis can do.
That's a fight I want to see. 100%.
Exactly.
I do not want this moment off screen at all.
Exactly.
And if Marco comes in and they're still winning, I'm gonna be like, fuck.
Then that says something.
Yo. Full stop. Leave my chicken boy alone.
The chicken boy.
Because to be fair, both of them are much weaker. Even Marco was, he was like taking a break, and Izo saved him on the live floor.
Oh,
10 chapters ago. Like, no one's at 100%.
No, they've been doing a lot. It's a war.
CP0 is probably the closest to 100% because they've been chilling, drinking sake, watching everything. Now they're stepping.
The only fight they've had so far was Drake and like a 25% Apu who ran away.
And that shit was done pretty fucking quick. And they took out a number as well. Was it Fugi or whatever the...
Took out one of the numbers.
One of the numbers was done, yeah.
Yeah, pretty damn easily.
But yeah.
And also shrugged off that burning hatred creature.
Yeah, didn't give a shit about that.
Like, I think it was just a minor convenience to them.
God, yeah. So yeah, that's scary, but also exciting.
Super exciting.
Let's go back to Zoro. Cause what the fuck?
Yeah, honestly.
Look, what boat are you?
Burke,
guys
sorry,
in?
Burke. Did you have something to say? You've been silent.
What boat are you in with Zoro?
Like the
Is this a serious moment or is this a gag?
Is it a Brook? Is it a Brook or an actual Reaper?
I think it's an actual Reaper. I think we're going to be surprised by it because maybe it's a specter of like Enma, personally.
Oh, you think it's like an internal battle type deal?
Possibly.
Or maybe a personification of the sword.
Yeah. That's what I think.
If they kept it to the panel with the scythe and the hood, I would agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
But because of this so clear Brook face and the fact that Brook and Robin were trying to escape CP0, you grab a fucking hoodie, you hide underneath it. I don't know why he has a scythe. That's just where
Are you saying that you don't see the afro?
You're saying the afro? I mean, come on. That can be... I mean...
I have...
Yeah, where are you at, bro?
I have one of 3 thoughts on it.
Okay. 3.
One, so the 2 most prevalent to me, and these are kind of equal for me, because if anyone's going to happen to, it's going to happen to Zoro. Be someone who's so focused around the idea of, like, living swords and, like, battle in the afterlife, that kind of thing. That shit's always applied to Zoro, usually, out of the Straw Hats. It would not be out of reach for someone who, on daily battles, becomes a literal demon or shoots out flames and shit, like, to experience the god of death. And also might have something to do with the fact that Zoro, more than most Straw Hats, has experienced near death many times.
100%.
Many times.
Yeah.
So I could definitely see this being an actual avatar of either death or of Enma. I think there's definitely some credence there, just given Zoro's history and fights and his methodology and like his culture as a fighter. My equal one is potentially a new form for Brook. I think it would be cool if Brook had a Reaper form, because that'd be super fitting for a form. But I don't know, because it would be very sudden.
Here's my thing.
And then the other one is just a Brook gag. He's coming to save Zoro. But
here's my
Brook's like hallucinating, maybe.
I don't know.
Because I can explain him, like, Brook's like, Zoro, are you okay? And Zoro's like, oh, guys, shit, he's coming to get, That could be the gag, and that's why he's seeing this first. But at the same time, yeah, go on, Burke.
The only reason I just can't get behind this being a gag is just because of where we're at right now in the fight, in just all of Wano right now. Yes, I agree that there's going to be moments for funny stuff, like, oh, you've heard of me with, the God Usopp thing. Like, I agree that there are times where the dialogue or, like, the situation can lend itself to being funny.
Yeah.
This is not one of those moments. I just do not see that being Brook pulling a prank on Zoro, especially considering Brook is supposed to be with Robin right now.
Right.
Defending Robin.
Last we saw, they were running away from CP0 in the basement area?
Close to the basement area, yeah.
But then again, we haven't seen them for 4 chapters. Again, I don't know. I think it would be much cooler and again, I don't believe this, but man, it would be much cooler if he just was like, I'm the king of the underworld, and then he beats King, right? And he's like, fuck. And then the actual king of the underworld's like, sup, bitch? You're the king of what now, motherfucker? He's just running up with a fucking...
that'd be absolutely...
And not in a funny way as I'm portraying it, but like, yeah, okay, fight me now then, you little piece of shit.
Well, that's the thing. Emma's the name of the king of the underworld.
Right. Like, so it's like maybe if maybe King was the sacrifice, you've summoned me, now I'm coming for your head, bitch.
So, and honestly, that as of Burke's point, like, Enma is the name for the king of the underworld. It would lend itself to that kind of persona.
It's a much better scenario in my mind. The thing that's weird about it is Frankie's going to be showing up in T-minus 30 seconds. So
hopefully.
I mean, he's right there, right? He blew a hole in the wall. I mean, he's running that direction.
That indicates, yes, that he's right there, but that's a long distance when you really take into account how big this place is.
They move quick. If he bursts through there and we just see Zoro on the ground, like, dead, 100% some real shit's going down.
Yeah.
But if he shows up and it's like, I don't know, a Brooke and Robin in like a, two kids in overcoat type situation, it's okay.
Here's my thing. I also, just based on the fact that the last time we saw Zoro it was either last chapter or the chapter prior, he was on the ground, passed out. I also think some of this might be symbolic. It might be happening in his mind.
No, 100%. Could be. Like, I do not know that it's Brooke. I wish I had...
Oh, I didn't say it's Brooke. It's
well,
just...
yeah.
I lean towards it's definitely not Brooke.
It's just that skull, man. Like, literally, take that...
Skulls are going to look the same when it comes to anime.
We don't see skulls. Besides Onigashima, which is a giant-ass fucking skull.
Which is an Oni skull.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like...
And it was built. It wasn't an actual...
You could understand how I would feel better if it was just this dude. If it was just this dude, fuck, I'm not thinking it's Brooke. I know this motherfucker.
Yeah, it's Death or Enma.
But, okay, cool.
Skull joke.
So, yeah, Yamato.
She's doing her best.
She's doing her best.
Fire and ice.
Specific moment wasn't, like, very impactful for me. It didn't give me a lot to work with, thought-wise. The only thing that's weird is, it does seem to me that if Kanjuro's actually dead, perhaps his spirit has gone into this
thing,
yokai thing, whatever you want to call it.
It does
because
speak.
It speaks.
Yeah.
And it reaches out.
It's a representative of all his hatred.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like
I don't think he was being metaphorical about that.
Yeah.
Well, if he was dead though, wouldn't his devil fruit also like move on and it would dissipate?
Who knows?
We've been talking about this. It's so inconsistent sometimes.
Well, I think death is a little more consistent. When someone dies, their devil fruit abilities definitely go away.
We don't even know that to be a fact.
I'm just saying.
Because
obviously, Kanjuro's still alive.
Obviously, our big theory about Zunisha was that maybe the user of Tama's original fruit was the one who commanded.
And now that she's asking everyone to help Luffy, Zunisha comes. But there's also the thought, right, that Momo talked to Zunisha while everyone left and was like, "Hey, come to Wano and fuck some shit up." Okay. We'll be there in 2 weeks. But it's one of those things. So I think if someone went and put a dagger, just my thought here, if someone goes and puts a dagger in Kanjuro's heart right now, this thing probably would go away. But yeah, it's interesting. Okay, the big thing in the room that's not Zunisha, which I was slightly unhappy about because I wanted to revisit that shit. Big Mom versus Kid and Law.
Okay. Go off. Not sure what you're going for here.
Maybe. I just wanted to revisit Zunisha this chapter, and we didn't.
Oh, got it.
That's all I'm saying.
I thought you were saying you were disappointed by Big Mom.
No.
Okay,
She's pretty horrifying in this chapter, but she's also really tired in this chapter. Notice how all of her lines end with huff, huff, pant, pant.
She's panting so much.
And she does not look great either. If you focus in on the, you better not be playing with your food, Kaido. Like, look at her face, dude. She's fucked up a little bit.
Does she ever look good, though?
Yeah, do you want to fuck Big Mom, Alex?
She was in the top 10 hottest One Piece characters in a poll 6 months ago. So technically, I should. I don't, but she was ranked higher than Reiju. Either there's a lot of trolls on the internet.
I have a
That
feeling.
was a meme pick.
I have a feeling.
I'm just saying.
I have a feeling it's either a meme pick or they're thinking about young Big Mom.
Which, I mean, yeah, some of the...
picture was current Big Mom.
Well,
Alright.
that
Anyway, how's Law doing that shit with his sword?
kill room.
He did Kroom before, and he just, it was the normal... This is very different, okay?
I closed my page. Sorry.
That's a huge freaking sword that it's longer than Big Mom. He pushes it through her arm, through her face, man.
So maybe
How does this shit work? That's what I'm asking.
there's something special about the sword itself.
You don't think it's his ability coding it? Because he does the whole bubble
maybe
Kroom thing.
well, what I'm
again.
saying is maybe the sword is connected to the ability.
It is cursed.
I don't know, of course, but I mean, this sword. Maybe this would happen with any tool he uses.
Yeah.
But this sword seems to go specifically well with his ability.
I think, well, I don't know. If he had a stool and he did Kroom on it, could he extend the stool's legs into Big Mom?
I really don't know.
Probably not.
Or maybe it's whatever he identifies as his operating tool.
Well, here's the thing. His normal room, as it works, right? He creates a giant, enclosure. Anything in that he can manipulate, right?
Yeah.
With this Kroom, he is covering an object with that and is able to put it whatever he wants, kind of like a phasing ability. And then once it's in there, he can use his abilities that are now past those. So like if you have a shield, he can put it past that and then activate whatever ability he wants, and now your shield don't matter. Big Mom with really tough skin, this is super fucking effective too. You can only hurt her internally, seemingly, and she coughs up quite a lot of blood. At Shock Willie?
Something like that.
Shock Willie?
It might be a different
quite
language.
I like it to be wheel.
Quite the Willie.
Chuck wheel.
No, true. But yeah, it's pretty insane. Then Kid's bringing all these sentient steel beams, and he just has a bigger form. I'm sorry, do you guys think Kid's stronger than Law?
I don't know.
I think they're equal, with Law maybe being a bit more than Kid.
I think Law.
I
I
think-
think Kid's way stronger. Law's way stronger.
I think I'm of the opinion that Kid has less of a catalog of attacks, but I think in terms of actual strength, he's stronger.
Yes. Kid builds bigger and bigger Legos and throws them at people.
I feel like as a warrior, he's tougher and stronger. I think the thing is Law is a technical fighter, and they're two completely different classes of fighters.
You want to know a really silly reason why Law is better and stronger than Kid?
What?
Well, they both lost an arm, and Kid well, Law got his back.
You're so dumb.
Weak
Anyways.
weak ass Kid.
No, I would say as a fighter,
Captain Mid, as he's called.
Captain Ned.
I would say as a fighter, I think Kid is stronger. I think his Devil Fruit really doesn't allow much for creativity.
Dude, if he's in a desert, he's fucked. Just
Um,
saying. Kid.
Oh.
I'll absorb all the metal and kill you. Where's the metal?
Unless he works like Magneto in, X-Men Apocalypse, and he can, bring up the actual minerals from the ground.
Look how much you have to give him to get somewhere.
he'll just empty the desert.
Of what?
Minerals.
Oh.
Of cum.
Where are we going with this? No, I mean, I'd say if
Kid
I
a weak boy. He got good lines in this because you said them, Brock, but he a weak boy.
no, I'm honestly of the opinion that
Doesn't impress me.
people are unimpressed with him just because he doesn't have a big catalog of attacks.
Are you impressed with him?
Yeah, I think he will be more impressive animated. And I think he's about the power, not about the variety. I think, like I said, if I were to compare Law's the assassin, he's the barbarian. Barbarians, they swing and they swing and they swing. They don't necessarily have like a lot of attacks to go with that.
Kid has big old machine constructs that he hits people with. Yes. Big Mom, you can't get through her skin. Is he doing shit to her ever?
Probably.
Here's
the thing, Alex. Here's what I'm thinking.
Does he have Conqueror's coating?
Here's what I'm thinking. I don't think he would have been on the rooftop. I don't think he would be in this battle side by side with Law if he didn't have that capacity. I don't think Oda would put him there.
Okay. So, okay.
Now, if it states explicitly, I'm not doing shit to this woman, and Law's doing shit to that woman, then I can take that back. But I think right now, it's kind of implied with where they're standing that they're both doing shit to Big Mom.
Do you remember that quote he had on the roof? Where he was...
Talking about Luffy?
Where Luffy punched Kaido, and he's like, whoa, he can do that with just his haki? Or just his own strength?
He did that with... Well, it was about
what was the quote?
It was like the Conqueror's haki.
No. When Luffy went like Gear 4th and was just beating the shit...
No, he was talking about... what I remember... What I remember was after he had done that, it's like, so that's a price for having that kind of power.
Yeah, that kind of power.
Well, and let's be real. Luffy's in a tier of his own. Let's remember that.
Well, shouldn't they be more...
Luffy could destroy either of them.
Oh.
Yes.
He could kill Kid.
He could beat both of them.
I think Law could be... I think the intelligence of Law, if it really came down to it...
If Luffy used his full strength and speed, Law wouldn't stand a chance.
Bro, Law ain't a fucking Usopp. Law can hold his own against Luffy.
But he's a technical fighter, and Luffy is
Exactly. I think that's why he might win. He doesn't need brute... He's not going to fight him with brute force.
Well, here's the thing. His room can't affect Luffy with his haki.
It doesn't need to affect Luffy.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Can I point out something really funny, by the way?
Go on.
I'm looking over the official translation to see differences here.
Yeah.
They made a grammatical error in the final...
His fizz?
Uh-oh.
In the final panels, I'd rather die than let you go to the roof.
Oh.
THEN. Than, rather than than.
That's wild.
Just thought it was funny.
Look here. Look, I'm not saying Law beats Luffy, but Luffy's never fought the most, like... He's never fought
Choose your words carefully. Choose them very carefully, Alex-san.
You're in a room with some two Luffy stands. We're going to kill you.
Who's the most intelligent antagonist Luffy has beat?
I would say Doflamingo's... Yeah.
Doflamingo.
And did Doflamingo try to overpower him when he was in Gear 4?
Yes.
And
at the very end.
And he lost terribly.
Yeah. After all his other tricks. You're talking about the ultimate puppet master, dude. This is not a...
Law beats Dofi.
I don't think so. At
least now Law beats Dofi.
Maybe now.
Now Law beats Dofi.
Maybe now. That just makes me think even more that now Luffy's even stronger, like way stronger. He beats Law.
The problem with Luffy...
No, the problem with this
Alex, let me finish my sentence.
What's up, Bert?
Let me finish my sentence. Then you can say what you're going to say.
It's just a gag on my end.
Let me finish. The problem with Luffy is that with his Gear 4th forms thus far, he maximizes strength with Bound Man and he maximizes speed with Snake Man. And he maximizes his health with Tank Man. Those are really hard to overcome by most people.
I'm waiting for the point.
Big Mom is like those forms, and Law's finding a way to defeat her. So I think Law might have the same ability.
He attacks her from the inside, just like Killer does.
I know. Luffy has that hardiness and that constitution, but Law can get past that.
Can he catch him?
I don't know.
Can he catch him? And like I said, can he reach him with his room? Because his hockey would probably offset it. Is what I'm saying.
Speaking of that, fucking can he get his room to reach him? Alex, do you remember all those times we played Burning Blood and I was Luffy and you were Law and I won probably like 7 out of 10 of those consistently?
No, I thought I decimated you with Law
No.
time.
No.
I don't think that's true.
It is actually the fact.
We'll play after.
No, I haven't played in a while. So
Okay, well, you
those
train up and then we'll play
skills
again.
are gone.
I don't remember you beating me.
I beat you with Luffy all the time. It was so funny.
I don't think that's true.
It was true.
Are you sure
It
about
was
that?
absolutely the case. You kept on using your room, and I'd be far away, and then I'd fucking like launch myself in, get a couple things, run outside of your room. Like there was just no
I remember me hitting you with Gamma Knife a lot of fucking times.
hit, like,
and you got really pissed
I'm
whenever
saying,
I did.
in the moments that you caught me, yes. But then once I became wise to your wiles, like it's just the same thing.
But
Luffy would just eventually just be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna stay far outside of the room and just."
But okay, agree with me on this.
We won't.
No, you will. Between Kid and Law has a better chance of being a better adversary to Luffy.
I don't know if I even agree with that.
My problem.
Oh, I put
Alex,
a bunch of fucking Legos together and
Alex,
hit you harder.
You are
Fucking
so
kids-
salty.
Kid's got nothing.
Alex.
Can he even hockey up his mechanical
Alex.
things?
I
Doesn't look
bet
like
he-
it.
I bet.
None of them have ever been like blackened with fucking hockey.
Alex,
So,
Wow.
just saying. Just saying. I'm trying to hype up Law here. I'm sorry. Do you like Kid that much?
I don't.
It's not a matter of
it's
liking
not even a matter
him.
of liking.
I think that
Kid
his
beats.
You don't like protagonists, and I love Luffy, and this isn't about that.
I'm not knocking Luffy's strength. I'm saying if we had to pick someone that's on his tier as a pirate captain, Kid and Law are the top two, right?
Yes.
I'm trying to say Law beats out Kid as an adversary.
I think that
Alex.
Law beats out Kid. I don't necessarily think that that means that he's a better adversary for Luffy versus Kid to Luffy.
Listen, Alex. In terms of just the symbolism, I'm seeing
Symbolism.
So far, Oda has seemed to place them on the same ground. That usually means something.
Like,
I don't know if that's confirmed.
Same as Luffy?
No,
Or same
those
as
two.
those,
Luffy was in front of everyone else.
Yeah. Okay.
But those two so far have been on the same ground at every battlefield that they've taken here. Right now, since there's no other proof, I haven't seen any proof. Yes, he's made her bleed. But who knows the Big Mom? She's ridiculous. And we don't... I just feel like with Kid, what you see, like what he does is a lot more apparent than what Law does. And I think that's what you have with Kid. So right now, I put them on the same level until proven otherwise. Because I have no proof that he wasn't doing stuff that he didn't do damage to them.
I mean, he's definitely hitting her with shit. I just don't know how effective it is.
No, that's the problem, is we don't know.
Look at Law's fucking attack. Look at how much she's fucking screaming her ass off.
No, I see it.
Right? And
But that's also
then
being
you look
attacked
at,
from the inside.
Then you look at Law's and there's nothing. She's hit by it. She says, "Ugh." She's literally screaming at the top of her lungs with, I'm sorry, man. I just don't think Kid's doing that much. I think that Law is really the one doing shit here.
I can't be convinced that until it's notated in the manga.
That's okay. I'm not going to I don't think I'll convince you. I just think until Law really does something that's like, oh, shit. Okay. That hurt her.
Usually
she's not picking up that arm again, or Hera's fucking dead.
Usually they show they show those differences in the reactions of the characters.
Yeah.
Like when Kid reacted to Luffy's Gear 4.
Yeah.
Right now, the two of them are just kind of the two behind men to Luffy, who are fighting against Big Mom.
Can we talk about reactions real quick then?
Reactions?
Because here's what some people say. Okay, so here's the reaction to Kid's thing. It's a massive bull. It's even bigger than Big Mom in her giant form. That's Kid's reaction. And now Law's reaction, where he killed Big Mom. You know, It's bigger than her. Did he murder her?
I feel like you're oversimplifying.
Well, I'm just saying.
You said
reaction.
You also got to realize that, like, by appearance, yes, it looks that way.
Yeah.
Because a bunch of swords came out of her.
One really long.
Well, yeah, but it looked like it came out of her a lot of ways, you know?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Oh, yeah, that's fucking through. That looks like it's through her head, honestly.
But here's the thing.
Her, like, neck area.
With Big Mom, you just cannot go by appearance.
Sure.
Like, literally.
No, I don't know if she's hurt from either of these. Okay, I know she's hurt from. I can't. Come on.
She's hurt from this attack. I'm of the opinion she's hurt by both. I truly do think that.
I think she's hurt by
both.
But I think the hurt is a lot more.
Alex, this is becoming a shitting contest. Let's keep moving.
It's becoming a power scaling thing, and I already sent you the Reddit for you to go get that shit out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I like to power scale, and kid sucks, in my opinion. Let's move on.
I like the Captain Mid means. Like, don't get me wrong. I also just think that it's unwarranted. Like, I don't know.
You think he's done shit in Wano?
I currently think we're sleeping on him, and that's all I'll say.
I don't need him to have done shit in Wano. He's not our protagonist.
Okay, so you just...
Like, I like him, but I don't need him to do shit for me.
I'd like Kobe to do shit if he's
gonna
dream to be an admiral.
Absolutely, I'd love to see Kobe do a little bit more shit.
So here's why I hold Kid to the standard. He said he wants to be Pirate King. Fucking show me, right? The other person who wants to be Pirate King is fucking Luffy, right? Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm holding him accountable.
Yeah, but we're not following Kid's story of becoming the Pirate King. He's gonna eventually lose that out, so I don't care if he does.
Butt out then, right?
Then Law should butt out too, by the way, while we're at it.
Well,
by that logic.
Law doesn't want to be Pirate King.
Yeah, but Law shouldn't even be here by that logic, though.
What are you talking about?
He just shouldn't be here.
He's here to kill Kaido.
He's ambitious.
The whole punk hazard thing. Kid is literally just here for shits and giggles.
Well, actually, Law was technically done with his ambition after Doflamingo got beat.
He did not say, I want to beat Doflamingo. He said, I want to kill Kaido.
Well, no, he wanted to, kill...
It doesn't matter what he actually wanted.
He set in motion the events to kill Kaido, but ultimately his whole thing was he wanted to kill Doflamingo because Doflamingo killed his father figure.
But he put Luffy on the path to kill Kaido.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right?
Whatever.
Yeah. I just feel like Kid
has more of a reason to be here than Law because of his crew involvement.
Well, he was supposed to go after Shanks, and then Kaido fell from the
fucking sky. Yeah, but he got betrayed by the two people he was teaming up with to go after Shanks.
It's a weird betrayal, wasn't it? Well, look.
How was it weird?
Well, think about it this way, right? So Hawkins and Apu were always on Kaido's side when they were having those meetings. As far as we know, yes. Right? And then Kaido just happens to fall on that island when he's committing suicide, and then they betray him? Or was there more there, do you guys think? Because, right? It's like...
I think it's...
Yeah, we're going to betray you. Oh, shit, here's our boss. Didn't expect that. Or, hey, Kaido, can you fall off this island because we're going to be here with... Right? Did they know at that moment, or did they betray him once they saw Kaido? Because that's what I always felt like. They saw Kaido as this monster and were like...
I don't know, go wake Hawkins up and ask him.
Dude, Hawkins ain't waking
I think it's as
Which
it
is
seems.
So sad.
I think it's as it seems, because we've all seen how quick Apu is to run and to switch sides.
Yeah.
That's very much a character for him. And Hawkins, as was in his character, he was going by the statistics.
Right. And he's like, well, Kaido's here at probably
if I don't join him, I'll probably die.
Yeah.
I bet he read the cards and was just like, there is a 90 to 100% chance that a Yonko is about to fall on my fucking head. Right. I am switching sides now.
100%. Yeah. They also probably saw what they did to fucking Killer and were like, yeah, I don't want that for my crew. We're just, fuck you, Kid. We're not going to do that to our vice captains. Okay, cool. No, fun. What else?
Was it fun, Alex? Was it?
I had a good time shitting on Kid. I mean, look.
No, enough of Kid.
Here's my question. Last question. Do you think he's gonna have a final fight with Luffy for that, or do you think he, after Wano, does join up?
That's hard to tell. I could see it. I could see it as one of those cool fights you see in a lot of JRPGs.
He's like a tsundere, really.
No, absolutely. I call him a tsundere.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I could see it at one of those cool rival fights where, in an effort to prepare Luffy for the final fight, it's kind of a sparring partner type thing, but serious sparring.
You know what I think? if we go to Elbaf next, right, and if Shanks is, in any way connected to that story arc, Kid has history with Shanks. He apparently lost his arm to the red hair pirates, right? That's his whole thing. So there would be a place for him in that next story arc.
Yeah. I don't think he's going away anytime soon after this.
I don't know about Law, though.
Well, I think Law... Here's what my thought
After Wano Law.
Here's what I think about Law. I think he's going to be of a similar, not standing, but a similar position in the world as to Luffy, as Bellamy, where he doesn't officially join, but he will be there when they call.
Okay. So he'll fade away for a while, you think?
Or he'll be in the background doing shit, because like Burke said, he's very interested in the true history.
Seems like it, right?
So, I mean, he's... And, the best way to learn that is through Nico Robin.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's one connection right there. He has the Straw Hats. Yeah. And also, I'm sure he's developed some feelings for the crew. You can't be with them for that many arcs and not get attached. No matter how soon they're in. Yeah.
He's a fan.
He even admitted that they create miracles wherever they go.
Yeah. Kid's the one I could see fully separating from Luffy until meeting in another arc. Law, it's harder to say. There's more of a relationship. They've been through so much together.
I don't think he's gonna. I don't think he's gonna stay attached at the hip, but I think he's gonna stay in contact.
Yeah.
And then Kid, I think he's going to.
Here's the thing with Kid: if Zunisha's coming to Wano, right?
Yes.
Clearly. Whether it's in one form or another, that road poneglyph's up there, right? Mm-hmm. If that's the only other one that Kid needed, right? He has Big Mom's for some reason, because he did go to... Did he go to Big Mom's Island at all?
Who was this?
Kid?
I don't know if he went there, but I know he beat one of the...
No, that was a Rouge.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if the Rouge beat that guy.
Because, look...
So, I don't know then.
Zunisha comes to Wano. There's technically 3 poneglyphs, road poneglyphs at Wano. Yeah. The one on Zunisha... Kaido's, and then Luffy's rubbing. So I could see Kid not maybe doing anything to the Straw Hats, but also being like, nyeh, 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 and taking a rubbing of the rubbing or some shit. Then he has all he needs to be on that last road poneglyph thing, too.
So here's a thing I get from Kid. He's not really a nyeh, nyeh, nyeh type guy. I think he's more of I'll fucking take it from you by force kind of guy.
After all this, though?
Yes. No, absolutely.
Okay, so maybe you think the fight with Luffy then happens in Wano?
Literally, if he really was a nyeh type of guy, however, that was a reason to explain.
I know. What's the sneaky parody thing?
I don't think he would have charged straight up to that roof with the rest of them to relive a fight with Kaido.
Sure.
I think a more cowardly person would have tried a sneakier route.
Well,
I think he's as headstrong as Luffy. He's just more aggressive.
Maybe one of his crew is nyeh, and just gives it to him.
I'm sure Killer is a bit more nyeh, but I think he follows.
Thank you.
I think he respects.
That's true.
I think he respects Kid enough to follow his orders.
I feel like Kid wouldn't make a move against Luffy after all this shit.
Right no. What I'm thinking about Kid. I think he's going to gather what he needs to go after his dream.
Right.
But I do think he acknowledges. I think especially after this, he'll acknowledge Luffy as another potential Pirate King candidate, but not in a way of a pure enemy, but in a rival type way.
He kind of already did though at Sabati when he said, no one's ever not laughed at me when I've said that, and you say it so.
No, yeah, I don't know. I mean, but here's the thing. That's the reaction a lot of people give Luffy when he first says that.
Sure.
I think now he's having a lot more screen time with Luffy on the same battlefield, fighting a battle that will literally change the world again.
True.
It'll change the face of the power structure of the world. And so I just feel like his path it'll be separate from Luffy's in a lot of ways. He's going to gather what he needs, but I think he will be back when he's really needed. I don't think he's gonna cut off from the Straw Hats. I don't think he's gonna keep in constant communication.
Right.
But I think he'll be there when he's needed. He'll be there if you die, who's gonna be my rival type thing, that kind of shit. Maybe not in those words.
Right, no, not as
But
not
I
as
can
so
see
many.
that being where he stands. Because, Luffy showed a degree of compassion and worry even for Kid. And I think Kid, with all his aggressiveness and all he shows, I think he can realize a lot of what this means within him. I just don't think he can let it out himself. He's not good at talking to people.
Okay.
Also, we're at an hour 13 minutes.
Nice. Last thing I'll ask, if someone has to die in Wano, outside of the assumption that, Ashura Doji has died.
Yes.
Which, again, just like the fucking guy in Skypiea can walk up and be like, hi! Like, Ashura Doji could do that.
Who knows? Yeah.
Is there someone whose death would make sense here? That would...
I think... Now, here's the thing. I think a lot of deaths would make sense. Technically speaking, I don't think... See, my thing is that it's not necessarily Oda's style to kill off that many people, but if I were to choose a death that would make sense...
The most impactful.
The most impactful death. I would probably...
Rise up for MVP.
I'm cool with that one.
I'm kidding.
It would probably be, in my opinion, well, honestly, going back, probably be at this point, Izo, because he's a representative of two worlds, the Whitebeard pirates and the Nine, and so he has multiple personal stakes in this fight, multiple things he needs to protect. He's there to protect Ace's brother and his memory. He's there to protect Momonosuke and his fellow comrades.
Right. And the legacy of the Whitebeard.
If he died so that the other 8 could live, I would not be angry at that.
Burke? That makes sense.
You're asking me if one of the scabbards.
No.
Who would be the
most impactful death in Wano if
for
someone
you?
had to die?
Who would you be most
Had to
satisfied with? Type.
Kinemon. Period.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if someone had to die, his would be the most impactful to me. Kinemon's been with us since Punk Hazard. We've seen his full journey
Story
of
arc.
being a fake father to Momonosuke.
Most impactful, Luffy.
No.
If Luffy fucking died. that would just-
Interestingly, my opinion on this probably be Kaido.
Explain that.
Just like when Whitebeard left, I could see because look, Luffy's having fun in this fight.
Mm-hmm.
He's having the best fucking... Usually he's fighting...
So you're saying if Kaido died by somebody else's hands after Luffy beats him?
Or his own?
Yeah, I don't think he'd do that.
I don't see Luffy beating him, but if he's
Killing him,
truly
you mean.
defeated, I don't see Luffy killing him. I see him defeating him. But Kaido's one of those people who, and obviously we don't have the full backstory yet, and when it hits, it's going to hit hard. But
if it hits, I'm starting to doubt it, honestly.
the whole Joy Boy thing,
No,
the
I
smile
know.
he had, it's really building to...
It's just one of those things where I'm so nervous that it's not going to happen.
Right, if all of that is it, and then he's like, all right, you've done it, boy. You've beaten the obstacle that was in the way of joy and this great history, and I'm the monster that everyone always do it. Finish me like the hero's supposed to. And Luffy's like, I already have, and walks away. Right. I don't know if it's like a blaze of glory as Onigashima falls, or a seppuku,
Jesus.
or like Kaido's like, shit, you won't take my life, and in his really ruptured and
Who is this man? What sort of devil is he?
no, right?
Tell me, caught in a trap.
But it's very much like one of those things. Like Luffy kills dreams, but to me, Kaido's dream has been dead for a long time, and this is the person who's supposed to really finish. And this is the whole Joy Boy thing, right? And we don't know, but if the backstory is that connected, and Kaido sees himself as this monster to be defeated, and he is, and the final thing is supposed to be his death, which he's been setting himself up for this whole fucking time, right? The suicidal thought, the whatever else, it would make sense for me for his death to mark the end of a pretty fucking crazy era. I don't know. Kaido's death would be insane because he really has been this whirlwind of an antagonist. Like, you hate him and you hate what he's done, but he's also vastly interesting with the Oda flashback and everything. Like, there's so much to Kaido, and yet it feels like so little, right? And if we got all of that and then he himself ended it,
I wouldn't be very happy with the suicide. It doesn't seem in his character for me.
again, it could be stolen. I don't know, but his death would be incredibly
See how I would see it
impactful.
going. And I know this isn't what the original question was, but how I would see it going is him finally making way for the new generation. But not in the form of his death, in the form of him opening the gate, which is him.
I just
Because he doesn't... the main reason I think he desired his own death is I think he thought no one could give him that fight he wanted. Because once Whitebeard died... Remember, that's why he was killing himself, because Whitebeard's gone. Who am I going to fight? And he's like, well, fuck me, and I can't even kill myself. But now Luffy's here, giving him that fight. There's 2 Yonkos in this place bleeding all over the place, which is amazing to see. It's like I think those suicidal thoughts are gone. I don't think those were ever a part of him like consistently. I think he's such a warrior at heart.
Something happened to him, man. And
Well, obviously.
I just don't know what it is, and I don't know because when we first saw Luffy, right, and he was like, "You might be able to give me those fight like those great heroes, right?" And you saw Odin, and you saw Whitebeard and Shanks all projected above Luffy, right? He's had people that he's fought, and now it's Luffy, right? And those must have been satisfying fights because he's kept going.
Mm-hmm.
But well, it's definitely not Luffy. Luffy does not kill Kaido.
No, he doesn't.
But I do think no, he doesn't. But
unless it's for food.
But if Kaido's dream is to die by the hands of Joy Boy,
#cannibalism.
if his dream is to, and I don't know what the whole Oni mindset is because he's a monster or a creature, right? He's not human. And there's this whole history there, and like he might be the last of his kind, right? There's so much there. I don't know what it is, right? But there's some sort of thing that he's projecting onto Luffy, and he wants Luffy to be that thing.
He's Luffy's uncle,
right? And if he's just the next. And Nell's uncle.
No, Luffy's uncle.
No, I know. But, like, that would be insane. This is the thing I struggle with. I don't know how a Yonko leaves the story and stays alive. Because it's not happened before. Whitebeard was the last Yonko who left the story and he died. Right?
I can see him leaving this. Well, I mean, I don't think...
Because you don't have another Yonko then.
Here's what I think. What I'm thinking. I don't think if they don't die, I don't think they're leaving the story. I think they're going to be in the story. Like, here's the thing. Big Mom, I doubt she'll give up her ways because she's so fucking haughty and she holds one hell of a grudge.
I think I think Kid and Law will kill. Not like Big Mom, but like just in general, they will kill. Luffy doesn't kill. I
think Law kills when necessary. I think Kid kills because of anger problems.
He would have definitely, if he could have, I think he would have killed Doflamingo.
Oh yeah.
Because Luffy was the one to be there at the end. He didn't.
But I am of the opinion that they're both going to live. And I think whether they like it or not, they're going to see Luffy lead New Pirate Age.
Then Blackbeard kills them.
If anyone's going to, it's going to be him, in my opinion. And I mean, in all honesty, like, if anybody's going to be doing mass killings, if anybody's going to be doing mass killings of like those major characters, it's going to be a mixture of him and Aki Inu. Because who killed the last big death? Who are the 2 people who did the last 2 big deaths in the series? It was Aki Inu and Blackbeard.
Oh yeah. Well, everyone got a shot in.
But
a lot of shots.
He and his crew jumped it.
Oh yeah.
They wouldn't have got there without Blackbeard.
Yeah. No, it's true. Yeah, man.
We should probably cut it here. This is getting long.
It's okay. That was my last question, honestly, besides predictions for next chapter, which we don't have a break, which is really exciting for us.
Fantastic.
Fuck yes. Did not want another one of those, especially with the whole death thing. Come on.
We've had so many goddamn breaks, obviously, with Christmas and the New Year and everything, so I get it. It just sucks.
It's okay. We're hopefully now, if we're going to have a good run, I'm going to say 4 chapters, no breaks. I'm going to say 4 chapters. This is chapter 1, next chapter, another chapter,
You think
chapter.
Oda's going to watch the Olympics?
No, I don't think he cares.
I would hope so.
Yeah, I don't think he cares.
Nobody should care.
He wants to finish Wano. We want him to finish Wano. Well, we want him to take his time and finish Wano right.
Yeah.
We want to finish Wano. Yeah.
I'm not going to.
I'm only going to watch the badminton.
I'm not going to
Genuinely,
pretend to understand a god, Alex. Okay, so F off with that.
Oh,
all
is
right?
a god?
Yes.
Oh, fair.
Have you seen his work?
No, I have. I told you that Izo moment with the gray eyes is insanely powerful. Yeah, predictions. Where we go to next. I'll start really simple. I think
it's gonna be. Sorry.
Honestly, just
I think it's gonna be
you motherfuckers.
Sorry, for real this time. What's up?
I think it's just the continuation of the Big Mom fight and her defeat. Not maybe death. Probably not death. Just defeat. I think that's largely what we'll cover, and then maybe if it's my birthday and you give it to me, Yoda, if you give me a check-in on Zunisha, no, I'm not even Kirishiro.
Not even Kirishiro.
No, because he fucking put Zunisha at the literal embodiment maybe of death there. Check it on Zoro, check it on Zunisha, and a Big Mom. Give me that, please. Thank you. That's what I want.
I just think next chapter is going to be a big thing like this one, where it's going to have a lot of different things happening all at once. I don't think we're going to get Zunisha.
God.
Next chapter.
God, I hope.
I wish, but I don't think we will. I think we will get a check-in on Zoro. We might get a check-in on Sanji, not that he really is in any mortal danger.
I think if it's a gag, we definitely check in on Zoro. If it's not, we might not check in on him.
Maybe.
I think that'd be good for you, though, if there's no check-in on Zoro next week. Because I think it would be, if we did, it would be a gag. If we don't check in, it might be something more serious. That's my headcanon.
Okay. And we might get a little bit more Big Mom, honestly. Because I think if they're going to beat her or she's going to run, it needs to be soon. Because I think Luffy needs to be the final.
You still see her running.
I still see her potentially running.
Morge
still thinks that this could fail. I still potentially see her as running away.
I think, just on that note, real quick, I think that Law and Kid, if they don't defeat her, but they do enough damage, she will flee. She does seem the type to flee when she realizes she's in actual danger. That's what she gives me. But also, her crew might finally show up and get her the hell out of there. Who knows?
I think she holds down Beppo and tells Law to do the eternal surgery on her, or he's going to break Beppo, and so he does eternal surgery.
Break Beppo like he's a Build-A-Bear.
Still waiting on Beppo Sulong. Oda, hello.
Sorry, Burke, did you have any more, though?
Nope.
All right.
Give your predictions and we can
wrap up.
I prefer Raw myself. Anyways.
Ooh, nice.
Anyways, he said wrap up. There you go. There's the understanding.
Party jail.
Anyways, I have an inkling that at least 2 features will be a check back on Izo. And a check back on Zoro. And I think this is regardless of whether it is serious or a gag. Because I think
Frankie shows up.
I don't know. I think Frankie will show up eventually.
Yeah, no, definitely eventually.
But I do think that the whatever it is in front of Zoro will be addressed.
Yeah, please.
And
I thought Zunisha should be addressed.
And then I do think we might see a bit more Izo, just because I think this stand of his is going to
versus CP0.
It's going to need some screen time.
100%.
Even if it doesn't last long,
yeah,
it needs some screen time
100.
Because he's fighting for the survival of the Straw Hats.
You know, here's what I'll say. I think Zoro has the potential to do some crazy shit that leads to another nothing happened moment. when Frankie gets there.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think there's potential for that. I really don't want it to be a gag because it feels kind of empty as a gag.
Yeah.
Brooks scaring Zoro.
Well, there'd be no point to it. And honestly, well, here's the thing too. I don't have it in me to think that it's even possibly a gag. I do think there's a possibility it might be Brooke,
right?
But it might be just him arriving, and it just be so happenstance as Zoro seems to be on death's door. Quotation marks.
Right.
But I think it's no further than that. I don't think he's really thinking I'm going to trick Zoro when he gets up there. If that is the case.
Oh no, yeah. Gag as far as it's not something serious. Not gag as in Brooke's like, oh, Zoro's having a great time. I'm gonna go make it better. It's like, no, obviously not. It's not that shit. But yeah, okay. Those are our predictions for 1039 out next week. We will see all of you crew then.
Foxy,
All right, listeners, that concludes this episode of the Yonko Podcast. So, Zoro either gonna die by scythe, or this is the worst gag that Brooke has ever pulled. What do you think? Let us know in the comments section below. Also, who's going to finish off Big Mom for the first time in her baby-making life? The overly emo boy with a really, really long sword, or the little red-headed does the carpet match the drapes kid who likes playing with big boy Legos? With that, see you all next time on the Yonko Podcast. Chapter Review 1039. All right, boys, we're off.